We are locked in. Speaker. Testing. Are we locked in?
Mic check.
Mic check. We locked in.
Live here in the Octagon.
Live here in the Octagon. Fight Sports. That is no green screen. All right.
Comment, subscribe, talk shit. Tell us what you hate. Tell us what you love. Happy Thanksgiving.
Happy Thanksgiving.
Shout out to our indigenous people and our natives.
And if we can get this one up to 20 likes, we would love that.
20 likes.
20 likes. We are yet to get a podcast up to 100 views. So, hey, can get up to 100 views, that'd be beautiful too.
All right.
But yeah, happy early Thanksgiving. Hope everyone's doing good. You got any plans? You said you got like not much going on, or you got a little something going on?
You know, multiple family members, you know, just typical, you know, Thanksgiving shit. We'll see football, right?
Football.
Yeah. That'd be crazy if UFC one day did like a little UFC Apex Thanksgiving Day fucking after all the football games.
Yeah, like a Thanksgiving special.
Yeah, that'd be
because the football games are in the morning, right? But then in the evening, there's not much going on.
Yeah, they kind of end around 6 or 7.
Yeah, that would be dope.
Everybody would watch.
Yeah, I would tune in for that. But this is the off season for us. This is our off season.
Right, 2 weeks.
We get like a couple weeks,
yeah.
And then I think after Christmas we have until UFC 311.
I think there's a fight right before 311.
Okay, but after Christmas it'll be like another 2 weeks, right? Or actually after Buckley's fight on December 14th.
Yeah, after Kobe gets knocked out. Yeah.
So about 3 weeks. I'm gonna clip that one, by the way. I'm planning on clipping that one.
What do you mean clip? What's that mean?
I'm going to clip that part from our last podcast where you said that you hope Buckley knocks Colby the fuck out.
Now it's not even hope. Now it's just like, as a matter of fact.
Yeah.
It's just in the cement now.
But I'm planning on clipping that bad boy. I believe that one will go viral. That was a big moment from the last podcast.
All right.
Yeah. You saw any of the views? We're doing good. We're doing solid. Yeah. We're getting around like, I clipped off 2 segments. Each got around like 300 views and counting.
Yeah. No, I agree.
Yeah. So we're doing good. We got to keep it up. So I guess, right, the biggest news that's happened, you like to just start it off, right? We don't ease into things like I asked you about last week. Let's just hop right into it.
Sure.
Conor McGregor.
Yeah.
Okay. So we did break this down, right, before a few weeks ago, before everything went down. You know, I went ahead and said, look, I'm not really going to report on it aside from speaking on it that one time until this thing is over with. All the accusations, everything that plays out in the middle. I'm not going to slander Conor's name if he turns out to be, well, I guess the term is not liable. Now, fast forward a few weeks, he turned out to be liable. The man is liable of sexually assaulting Nikita Hand, and that sexual assault is referred to as rape. She's accusing him of rape. So I guess the last thing I'll say as a nuance for people who haven't heard about this yet is that this is a civil lawsuit because when Nikita Hand tried to press charges back in 2018, the cops didn't have enough evidence to pursue it on the legal side. They questioned Conor and everything, and nothing happened. They couldn't pursue it. So it went on the civil side. Now about, 2024? So 6 years later, it's finally coming to an end. But, you know, you have to imagine millions of dollars have been spent on both ends with this.
Yeah, I mean, when you say both ends, you mean like the girls' part?
Probably, and I wonder how she got that money.
I don't think she really. I can't imagine she spent millions of dollars. I mean, because she's trying to get, you know, something. You know,
Or maybe somebody bankrolled it knowing that she's going after Conor, so they took it on a contingency.
You know that we could do a investigative episode on what. That backstory. I mean, I couldn't imagine she would, but maybe.
Well, I mean, okay. Did you see the one part I put about the show notes as far as Ali Abdelaziz?
I don't even know who that is.
You don't know Ali?
It sounds familiar, but like, I have to see his face. There's a lot of Ali's.
You met him. You were in the same room as him at Bellator, San Diego.
Guy?
The bald guy.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
That's who I thought it was, but.
So he's their manager. Sorry, he's Khabib's manager. When we went to Usman's fight, he's their manager.
Yeah, but I mean, at this point, what does it even matter?
What does what matter?
For them to like try to keep smearing Conor.
So okay, so
What does that do for them?
well, I mean, I think it does a lot for their personal beef towards him, their personal vendetta.
But I mean, at the same time, like, I don't know. Like, I wouldn't. I wouldn't sip that Kool-Aid because it's been like how many years?
It's been. Say again.
Do you think if I really hated somebody?
Well, we're beating around the bush. They don't know what we're talking about yet. Are you referring to what I wrote down in the show notes?
A little bit.
That the fact that Ali, people are questioning that they're, and I'm just a conspiracy guy. So when I throw this stuff out there, it doesn't mean that I believe it, but I just want to throw it out there.
Yeah, that's what I'm not. I'm like completely opposite of conspiracy theory.
Okay, so for the people who don't know what we're talking about right now, Ali, somebody has thrown out a theory, and let me just pin it all together. I think it's fun, so hear me out.
Okay.
Khabib wrote that Conor McGregor's a rapist in 2018 or 2019, okay, which is months removed or a year removed from when Conor is accused of raping this woman in the hotel in 2018. That's one thing. How did Khabib know that Conor was facing this lawsuit? Nobody knew it, really. Nobody knew the true details. People may have said stuff here and there, but there was never a factual, no, Conor's going through a lawsuit. There was never that. Okay, so how did Khabib know it back then? Then you have the beef with Khabib and Conor, and people say, did Ali Abdelaziz or Khabib's management bankroll Nikita Hand in funding this lawsuit against McGregor for the last 6 years after the cops shut it down? So that's what we're talking about right now. You don't really feel like they did. I truly don't know, but I do find it odd, the puzzle pieces where it's like Khabib knew about this before anyone else. So Khabib's camp knew. So if they wanted to, I guess they could have done that. If they wanted to. That doesn't mean they did it, but they could have if they wanted to. God knows they have the money.
I mean, I think it's one of those things where it's like they're so focused on Habib's so focused on building his camp and his fighters. Yeah, tweeting and like playing shit like that. I mean, it's easy to do.
Takes a few minutes.
That's a lot of time and effort and energy. I don't think that that's a waste of time for them if they to do something like that. If they were really to go and put time and energy and money, that would be like, hey, we'll make sure he never like we're gonna find a way to break his UFC contract that he never fights again, or do something with his bare knuckle fighting. You know what I mean? Like somehow keep throwing like things in there. I mean, because the fact that it's not even a legal case, they would have put more money to make sure the cops got involved. No,
I hear you. They probably could have also taken easier avenues, like you're saying, as far as spoiling other opportunities if they cared that much.
Yeah, I mean, in my opinion.
No, yeah, and I think that's a fair point. But definitely, like, at first thought, when I read that, I'm like, oh, damn, like, is that shit true? But after you kind of break it down, too, I do kind of side with the fact of, like, these guys got bigger lives, and bigger priorities.
Yeah, and I think, too, like, when there's fame and money around and alcoholism, like, think about the two different sides of the spectrum. Habib, very religious, very, laser focused, gym, eat, pray, right? Conor, you could look at him and be like, oh, he's out partying, he's out doing this, he's out doing this. The Muslim world look at him like he's a sinner already. Just the minimal stuff, you know what I mean? Like, and you probably throw in all the other shit, sex and fucking drugs and alcohol.
You think Conor's doing it enough on his own, ruining his name that Khabib doesn't have to do anything? Is that what you're saying?
No, what I'm saying is that they could just take a guess, like, oh yeah, he's probably fucking, had multiple, situations where he's probably put women in bad positions. So they can just, call it out. But like, bro, when we know you're shady already. I mean, that's not a far leap for them to take a guess on.
Yeah.
Then something comes to fruition, like, yeah, see, I told you.
I'll even go like middle ground. I bet you, I'm sure, like, if Khabib tweeted that in 2018, he probably knew about it, like, low key.
There could have been like, little whispers like, hey, did you hear about what happened with Conor and shit? Like,
because even Conor knew about Khabib's debt before it was official. Like, these guys know each other's dirty laundry. But
that's interesting. Dirty laundry, yeah, that's a good word.
Yeah, but that doesn't mean that just because Khabib knew doesn't mean that he went ahead and bankrolled the whole thing. Those are two different things. So, probably Khabib knew, but at the same time, you're probably right on the end of where it's like these guys got bigger lives. But the thing is like I don't know how petty Ali is. I truly don't know.
Yeah.
If he's got a crazy pettiness level, maybe. But I doubt Khabib and his team. I can't imagine them calling Ali and be like, "Hey, did you get the attorneys? Like, what did the attorneys say?" It's just too much energy. Yeah. It's like it's toxic.
It was almost like, hey, do we throw 500,000 behind Umar?
Islam or Umar? Yeah.
Yeah, or do we put 500,000 towards this attorney shit and this girl? Like, no, let's put it on the fighter, dog. Like,
right.
You're about to be the next one.
Yeah. Okay, and so, I guess some more talking points about this before we talk about the aftermath. So it got found that obviously James Lawrence, Conor's like accomplice, wasn't found guilty of raping this woman, but only Conor was. They also say that like surveillance footage kind of paints a different picture as far as like.
Have you seen the surveillance footage?
No, it's all private. Everything is private. And so just based off what the people are reporting, it's that they're saying that the surveillance footage shows her not really feeling like she's in danger, hugging up on these guys, like flirting and stuff. Right? Yeah, and I'm like, I thought you had a tampon shoved up there from Conor.
Yeah.
That's what I think about when I hear that she was like happy kicking it with James, Conor's friend. I'm like, but don't you have a tampon up there like as we speak?
Well, and it's interesting too is like if you go in her like I was reading some of it and the doctor's report during trial about like how bruised up she was, and like them saying too like Conor, the accusation was that Conor's like comparing it to him being in a fight, like in a sexual way, so it's like it's a we'll never really know.
It's only, I guess, really, yeah, it's hard to even, for you to have a response. Really, all we can do is put out, like, the stuff that's been said. And something else, this is something I can share my opinion on, because it did make me feel some type of way. Prior to this, right, how did she get into this mess? Now, this woman was sending Conor McGregor, what's the word, suggestive photos of herself. She had a boyfriend at the time. She had a kid at the time. And she's over here doing this stuff with other guys, right? Bro, just to speak from my experience, which I had never had experience of something like that happening to me, but I could tell you right now, like if my girl were to be texting other guys and meeting up with celebrities and shit, because that's what it was, and all of a sudden you come back or something and he raped you, but you want to go kick it with that celebrity, that's a tough one for me. Like, I might even, because I can't. If you're here crying, right, as a man, maybe I do have to be supportive of you in that moment. But I'll tell you this right now, it's over.
Well, yeah, of course.
But this guy stuck it through, and he, like, filmed her and took photos of her injuries and, like, really went to an odd extent. He's still with her. He's been with her in the court. Interesting. That's why I say I would have been done. Maybe I'll support you and be like, hey, I'm not going to go in on you right now and chew your ear off, but this is done after today or tomorrow. Oh
no, I agree with that 100%.
Yeah, so that one surprises me, the fact that like those things are known, but she's still able to claim that she was raped, because to me those things, just saying, if it were to happen to me, I would have such a hard time believing even the woman that I love, right? Yeah. Telling me that shit, let alone Nikita Hand, who I don't know from anything.
Yeah, and I think it's one of those situations too where you can go back and look at if we were to do it like rape cases, right? And if you were to look at the actual like data of like, okay, X person was just grabbed and raped, right? X person kind of went along with it to an extent, and then that person took it to another level,
right?
Like there's all these different scenarios and cases where it sounds like she put herself in a very bad position, and it got to a point where she couldn't control it anymore. And if she was, and she made it sound like too, like, basically all of a sudden I was here in the hotel room, like, maybe, they roofied her or something, you know what I mean too? So, I mean, that happens every single day, right? On a micro level, at your local town or your local city, wherever the fuck you're at, and it happens to, these stories aren't uncommon. So that's why, it's such a gray area, for what really did happen.
Yeah.
Because very easily he could be, you know, that dude that's like, bitch, you're glad you're with me. We all got fucked up, things went overhand, and then you just fucking did what you did and didn't have any, you know, regard of what she thought on the matter, and now we're here. Or like you said, you know, she took advantage of the situation in her own right, and you know,
and
got
seems
money
to
out
have
of it.
won out of it, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
Even though she has, because, you know, Conor lost and the other guy won, technically, you know, she's getting, like, reimbursed on Conor's end as far as, like, the award she got. But then this guy's also going to sue her for basically the false claims that it turned out to be on his end. So I don't know how much she's even getting out of this. You know, she might even break even. So then it's like, what did you do all that for? For the publicity?
See, and that'd be interesting too, like to actually know, like, was money spent on her behalf out of pocket, you know. It's because I'm assuming, since it wasn't authorities involved, like I guess here in the United States, you would be covered by the public defender, right, a prosecutor. So that's interesting.
Yeah. And okay, because also what you were kind of saying, right, about the levels of things. You know, there are levels, and there's getting snatched up, right? Then there's obviously you're at a party and people are drunk, and you've seen, this is probably one of the most easy ways of it, right? And most common. You're at a party, men and women are there, alcohol's involved, and you just slip up, somebody comes up on you, you guys happen to be there, and that shit goes down, right? People might sleep in the same bed, pass out together, and a guy might, you know, try to slip it in there, right? That shit happens. Mm-hmm. So those are like the two levels, but then you got their area where it's like, she basically walked into a party setting with just McGregor and his homie. And it's like, dude, any girl who comes to your crib, right? Any girl who shows up to your crib by herself, what's she trying to do?
Yeah, but I wouldn't go that far. Like,
where wouldn't you go that far?
I wouldn't go that far just because someone goes with you that it's expected that they're gonna sleep with you.
No, and I'm not saying that, right? But yeah. Because if she doesn't, right? If she doesn't want to sleep with me and she comes over, that's happened to me, right? That happened to me multiple times in my life. And I say, all right, whatever, it is what it is, right? Like, see you later. We usually don't kick it for very much longer, I'll tell you that much. Usually out of there within like 5-10 minutes after you give me that solid no. But I think by you showing up, I'm thinking you want to fuck. And I at least run the option. If you shut me down, then all right, fine, I'll see you later anyway. It's all good. But what I was basically trying to say is that by showing up there, you do kind of give that off to the guy. Now, she's saying she gave that off. See, that, I'm going crazy, so give me a second here. What I'm trying to say, right, is what happened there as far as a girl coming to a guy's house, right, and not wanting to fuck. People act like that wouldn't happen either, but I'm admitting that's happened to me. I've had multiple chicks come over to my house, and then, like, they don't want to fuck, and I'm like, all right, like, come on, I'm going to go kick with my homies then. Like, I'm wasting my time here. So that does happen. The fact that she wanted to kick it with Conor, like you're saying, does not mean she wanted to fuck. But yeah, most guys do think that off the bat.
And I guess what you know, the lot of gray area, right? Like,
it's all gray. We're just in the full gray.
Did she get roofied? Did she really, like, you know, were they downstairs in the hotel room and then somehow I'd like to see that footage.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, where's the hotel footage of them going up to the room? You know, and
I don't know if it exists. I know that they have it after.
But so, you know what I mean? Like, because she's saying, or she's claiming that, you know, she doesn't even remember getting up there. And then one thing led to another, and where, you know, you're now put in a position where you're like, where the fuck's happening here? You know, and if men are stronger than you, and you're being put in a position where, you know, you can't really control what's happening anymore. You know, it's I think about what we were talking about too with John Jones and that girl that had her phone taken, right? A woman's, when she's gonna feel threatened, and you know you're a man and you can take advantage of the situation, you can just keep pushing barriers because of the fear factor it's involved, you know. And John Jones evidently, you know, scared homegirl by taking her phone, right? That's out of pocket. You shouldn't be doing that to a woman. I have too many sisters in my life, and my mom, who have raised me a certain way to think about these type of things.
I've never crossed that barrier with a woman where it's like, well, what are you gonna do about it then? I never have like forced my dominance like that. Yeah, it's kind of fucked up.
Thankfully, people but guys do it every day. Though,
they do it every day,
right? And like I said, it's just on a micro level, bro. We're talking about on the biggest, because he's Conor McGregor.
And you got an ego to you, right?
What was that?
You got an ego to you. Rejection's probably gonna hit different when you're the fucking man.
Yeah, I mean, and and like you said, you had alcohol involved. You know what I mean? You probably had drugs involved.
They admitted to cocaine on the evening.
You're not thinking coherently, and you keep pushing boundaries, right? And so, like you said too, like we are talking in hypotheticals and gray areas. All we know was what the
verdict came out to be.
Right. That's all we really, really, really know.
True.
We can all make assumptions.
Right. But that's what the people want to hear, right? So we got to give the people what they want as far as, just talking about all the possibilities.
Yeah, you're right on
that.
Yeah.
But that's pretty much everything, right? As far as like all the possibilities. I think we laid that part out. Now, I guess in the aftermath, right? Conor McGregor has been dropped. That's some of the first things that happened. Conor McGregor got dropped by the Hitman video game, and he got dropped by Proper 12 Irish Whiskey, his baby. He did sell that company, but he's been the face of it ever since.
Yeah.
Someone got to check on Conor after Proper 12 dropped him, man.
But he got paid, though.
Oh, he got paid, but that's his baby, dude. They dropped his ass.
We'll make Proper 11.
I mean, we'll see, right?
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, I don't think it hurts him too much. I wonder how much he gets paid, but yeah, you're right. He did sell off heavy already.
Yeah, what was it, like 650 million?
Yeah, he got his bag for that. He might even be like, all right, that's less appearances I got to do. I don't want to do appearances when people are going to be calling me a rapist after that.
Too many ways you could spin it. Now, what would be interesting, because they are saying some other people are coming out the woodwork, trying to put some other, cases together.
Is there something with Artem or something like that involved?
I don't know, though. I don't have all the, information for him, but I did hear a couple just tweets and news. And
yeah, I saw. I didn't have the energy to read the whole thing, though. Like, my brain capacity was fucking fried. But is it something with Artem? Did you see that, or you don't have any clue?
I don't know.
Okay, I thought I saw something about Artem.
Yeah.
But anyway, I mean, do you think more companies will drop Conor?
I mean, not even that. I'm more talking about more people coming out and trying to accuse him.
Okay. So tell me more. So you think they're coming out to accuse him of rape, probably?
Yeah, more women.
More women.
More women are speaking out about that now. Like I said, I don't know. You know what I mean? Nothing has came to fruition. Nothing has hasn't been another case. So only time will tell.
Mm-hmm.
It's interesting too. Is like how old is Conor now?
Like 35.
36.
36.
Yeah, he'll be 37 next year. So it's like he's one of these fighters on the back nine, and these things are now coming out. And now he's having to deal with them. His wife, backed him up. She pretty much backed him up, right? She sent that message and shit, like, "Hey,
I need a woman like D in my life."
Yeah, but at the same time, it's like
Well, I got a good woman, but still.
Yeah, but I think it's it's our responsibility as men not to be putting our women in those type of situations. Conor. I'm divorced, right? Like I cheated on my ex, and I feel bad about that now. You know what I mean? But I wasn't thinking the way I'm thinking now. Of how we do need to protect our women that are trying to be there for us. He put her in a real bad position.
He should have been apologized to her too.
Yeah, he and who knows if you really think that's the first time he cheated on her?
No, definitely not. I mean,
right.
If we're being real.
Yeah. Right. And so the bigger picture is here, is hopefully he can, hopefully he grows to this and this doesn't become something even bigger,
mm-hmm.
like a Diddy thing, right? I'm not saying that, but you never know. You never know.
Yeah, the thing that kind of and I don't really have an answer for it, but it's definitely been a question on my mind is you see celebrities all the time. And, like a Leonardo DiCaprio, right? He's constantly even banging 18-year-olds. He's known for that. Mm-hmm. But, he doesn't get these crazy rape allegations. And here's another one. You got Luke Rockhold, Craig Jones. These guys go fucking in Colombia for months on end. I mean, Luke Rockhold banged the chick that I went to high school with. So there you have it. You know what I mean? Like, I know this shit about Luke anyway. So I guess like, and you don't hear any like accusations there. I guess the big difference is that Conor's married, but I don't think that's enough to where like if you're married and cheating, like the world just comes after you. I just don't understand like why these single guys. Is that it?
That's in his own household, right?
Who? Conor?
Conor's, yeah, it's his own household.
No, but I'm wondering why Conor is getting these accusations for like fucking basically, and they're turning it into rape when Rockhold probably like has at least fucked like 5 chicks this last month.
I mean, bigger name, bigger stage.
Is it the star power? But then because I threw in like a Leonardo DiCaprio, and he, like I said, he's known for fucking 18-year-olds. So it's like, why doesn't he get it? Is it because he's single? I know, like I'm saying, I don't think it's that simple of an answer. But and I'm telling you, I don't have the answer. It's just a question that I've been having where it's like, why do, like, there's tons of guys who fuck all the time and are known for it and it's no big deal. And Conor's doing it and he's getting accused. Like, is there smoke where is there, fire where there's smoke, whatever you want to call it?
I mean, I would say 90% of the time there is, right?
There is usually smoke where there's fire, right?
Right. Now, we'll see as time goes on and progresses, as, not just now, but 5-10 years now, if these stories keep coming out. The Diddy shit, bro, those stories have been in the woodworks for a while.
They have been. They've been rumors, right?
It just kept adding up and adding up and adding up and adding up to hit a boiling point. Like I said, I'm not putting Conor. I don't want to put that on any man. You know what I mean? It's not true. So we'll see. All we can hope is that he starts doing the right things. If you really want to be with your lady, be with your lady. You know what I mean? If you really want to go out and fuck around, like, be a Leonardo, be single. Do whatever the fuck you want. Like, that's all I'm saying. If you want to be with somebody, be with somebody.
Right.
If you want to be, I was just talking with one of my homegirls too. It's just like, I don't want to put any woman in a position where I'm going to cheat on her. If I'm going to cheat on you, then we shouldn't even be together. If I want to be with you, I should respect you and support you and be there for you. And we all, as people, have women do the same shit, bro. Like, it goes both ways. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And, okay, so, but the devil's advocate, because I try to keep an open mind, right? And I got a girl, I don't cheat on my girlfriend. I've been with her for years. So I'm saying this, and I'm not someone who, like, necessarily does it. But I'm trying to say, too, like, because you're like, I shouldn't be with somebody if I'm going to cheat on her. Like, there's a lot of dudes out there who need to get that fucking with multiple different women. Like, they have a hard time with the idea of, like, being with a chick, right, for, like, 20 years and not fucking someone else. So, I guess that's just, like, a personal question. What do you think about that? Like, because Conor, that seems to be him, right? Conor seems to be a guy, he loves D, he loves his girl. There's no real questioning that. But it doesn't seem like he's okay with, like, just fucking one chick for the rest of his life. Which is what a lot of dudes, Well,
those are deeper questions, right? If you want a deep answer,
I'm getting deep on that one. Give it to me.
If you want a deep answer, I'll give you a deep question. I'll give you a deep answer. I mean, those are inner urges that you have that you want to satisfy. Fucking someone is just a sexual urge. It's a euphoria. We all know after you bust a nut, you don't even care anymore. It's a
dopamine. It's like anything. It's That's like hitting the gym. It's like smoking some weed.
And like, it's even like, for times, let's say I've been with a girl that we're dating, right? And I nut in her. I'm like, fuck, I should have used a condom. I'm using that analogy, right? Because it's like,
you'd be tripping for days.
Right. That nut though, it can have let's just say it's some girl you just met and you both hooked up and you're like, fuck, I didn't use a condom. Damn, she may be pregnant. For what?
Is my piss burning? I don't know.
Right. I could have just went home and jacked off and like it wouldn't even, now I'm not even having that worry. Now, in this situation, like all you're trying to do is satisfying an urge. Like you said, a dope, you know what I mean? But if that's not at home what you want anymore, then you need to have a serious talk with your spouse or have that other talk like, hey, is this cool with you? Because if it's not, then maybe you shouldn't be together anymore.
Yeah.
Maybe you had your run and you want to just go, be single and run wild. Eventually, even that will catch up to you where you're like, man, I want to go back. I'd rather be with someone and settle down. Like, I don't want to be all that. You know what I mean? Like, so you, as individuals and people, you have to be at contempt with yourself, inside, self-control, discipline. Those like. Look at Sean O'Malley. No one's tripping on Sean O'Malley because his wife even said, "Hey, we have an open relationship." That's what they've agreed.
And I think, because I was thinking about Sean, I think it's also partially because you don't see Sean hooking up in public. I think if Conor's going to continue doing this kind of thing, just keep it on DL, man. Don't let anybody know about it.
That's the thing too. That shit will catch up to you. You can only put it on DL for so long, because of your superstar power. A paparazzi could be just following you
because of his star level. Yeah, right. I guess. Yeah,
you know what I mean. Like,
Sean's not there.
There's nobody following DJ MTK. I may have like my ex, like, dude,
or even an O'Malley. He's a star, but he ain't no McGregor.
But but here's the thing with O'Malley: if his wife ain't tripping and they've already discussed it, then there's no news there, right? He can be doing whatever the fuck he wants because he already has thrown it out there. His wife has already said she's cool with it.
But McGregor's girl's not tripping, and she said they discussed it.
Well, behind in public, probably. I'm sure she's fuming.
You think she's fuming?
Oh, come on. Most 98% of women are not going to be okay with it.
Yeah, but
98% of dudes are. Is it okay? Let's go to the flip side. How many dudes are going to be okay with, like, yeah, you needed to, like, get release some steam. All right, yeah.
No, hell no.
But you know what I mean? So it can't be both ways though.
I'm like, yeah, but I'm like that. I'll like, and I'm not saying this is what I want, but I'm saying, like, when I hear Sugar, I'll even be like, Sean, you gotta be the one fucking, like, you're letting your girl fuck other dudes? That's crazy.
Some dudes don't care, bro, because I know guys like that too, bro. They just don't care.
They be cucking.
They just don't care, bro. It's like,
they don't care.
Do you? Because
Adam 22.
They're just, well, that's a whole nother story. But they're just not wrapped up into, like, the emotional attachment that they have, or the your mind.
Mm-hmm.
Like, nah, you could only be with me. Like, some people just have different views and perceptions of how they look at life, and to each his own.
Yeah.
To each his own.
Okay, because you got deep, let me hit you back with some deep thought, right? So with Conor and I guess, like, searching within. This is what I'll say, and I'll shoot him a little bit of bail here. Conor's been with Dee forever. He's been like a high school sweetheart with her, basically. Me, because I brought up myself how I've been with my girl for years. I'm not cheating on her and shit like that. But a lot of guys have a hard time with basically what I'm saying I do. I think the self-contentness that you said, though, is a big factor, which I don't think Conor has, because I don't think he has a lot of experience with women outside of Dee. I think that's a little nuance versus me. I met my girlfriend when I was like 23. So I had my fair share of doing my thing for a decent amount of time. And then, like you were mentioning, it's just kind of like, I just get over that shit. Like, this exactly how anybody, right? The way you said it is basically exactly how I feel. Like, you could go out and fuck as much as you want, but you're still going to, like, go home and not have much going on. And it's like, it was just a dopamine while you were there. You come home, it's like, what next? On top of that, dude, you do crazy shit. Like, you fuck a girl without a condom, you're not worried. You might think your piss is burning. Like, how many times I thought my piss was burning and it wasn't? I went to the fucking doctor, got my blood drawn, and everything's fine. But, like, your mind's just fucking with you. You think she's pregnant and shit. So, for me, whenever I think about, like, even, like, not that I do, or whatever you want to call it, right? Anytime you have those urges, I kind of just, like, I have a lot of experience to, like, think back on, where I'm like, dude, like, honestly, I enjoy kicking it with my girl. I get, like, way more out of this. I could fuck her anyway, right? Like, it doesn't, like, why go and, like, get all this trouble, right, with fucking some random bitch when I could do it all right here anyway? Like, you gotta have perspective. So I think Conor lacks that. That's what I'm trying to say. I think Conor lacks, like, all of that, maybe.
It's interesting. I tell this to people all the time. It's like, if you gave me millions of dollars, who knows what the fuck I'd be doing, bro? You know what I mean? Like, I that's why I always say I live in a glass house. You know what I mean? I've gotten a lot better at some of those things. You know what I mean? And I'm more internally happy, where I don't need to fulfill some of those urges by making bad mistakes in my life. But if I was Ryan Garcia, who knows what the fuck I'd be doing?
Right. There's no telling, because you got all that shit. You got a bunch of women after you.
But yeah, and you feel like you're on top of the world. You know what I mean? So it's like, and you're a star. So it's like, man, I don't give a fuck.
Right, and keep in mind,
I didn't give a fuck when I was poor. I don't know how I would feel if I had.
No, that's true, right? Now you got not.
But I would be single though. That would be the one thing though. I would be single.
That's the big difference you're saying. Now, for me, it's like, I think there is a world where like, let me ask you this question: do you think is there a world where like a man can love his girl, but he has a hard time fucking her for the rest of his life? Because I think there is that. Even as tough as it is to say, I think that there is quite a few men who are like that. That's why most marriages probably fail.
Okay, so I mean, it's it's the old saying: you can show me the finest girl in the world, I'll show you the guy that's tired of fucking her.
100%.
But you have to take a step back and realize that that's just one aspect of life, right? That 1 30 seconds, minute, whatever the fuck, however much time frame you want to put of that euphoria that you wanted to feel, right?
Mm-hmm.
Does love outlast that feeling? And if it doesn't, then maybe you're with the wrong person. You know what I mean? Like, and maybe you just don't want to be with someone for that stuff, and that's fine too. You know what I mean? I talk with a lot of people that we'd have that same conversation. Like I said, I'm divorced. You know what I mean? I can speak on that, and there are people out there that they just don't ever want to settle down. So who knows what to say when you're younger, and you would talk to people there in their 40s, 50s, and 60s. Their mindset might be changed. They're not, because they're not youthful anymore. Mm-hmm. They may want to just be with somebody and not be like 60 and alone.
That's the thing too, though, right? When you hit that later age, then it's kind of like you're over all that shit. But in those younger, right, you would hope. But then in those younger years, when it was time to find somebody to stick with you, you're too busy fucking.
But look at Jeffrey Epstein,
60-year-old. I mean, you got the actor too, that old guy.
Weinstein. Fuck, he was dating a model, bro. She was like 20 years younger than him. He still wasn't happy, bro. So as you progress in life, if you haven't answered that question and you're still trying to get these things, these sexual desires fulfilled, and you're rolling into your 50s and 60s, look, I think P. Diddy was in his 50s. You still haven't solved what's internal within inside you.
No, it's 100%.
So, like, that could roll into any person. That could roll into me. That could roll into you. That could be rolling into Connor. We can put whoever that case may be. And so those are the deeper questions as individuals people need to get. I know we're getting real off topic.
Nah, it's all good, though. I think people are probably fucking with it.
Oh, man. Nah, I mean, I understand on a deep level, bro, because, like, I can, man, bro, I've been around strippers my whole life. Mm-hmm. Like, bro, I was with the homies and shit. That's when we talked about. All the homies were dating strippers. Like, we would go to the strip club. Like, we would be at the after party with everybody. At the time I was married, I'd be like, "Hey, where are you at? I'm with the homies." She's like,
I don't know what that means.
Come home. Hey, can you come home? And I'm not saying I was fucking around with her like that, but it was just so common. Mm-hmm. And I'd be like, "Well, come stroll through." No, I don't want to go kick with all them. Blah 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 blah. Well, then I'll see you when I get home. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? And that's me just being like, I want to do it my way. I don't care what you think.
Right.
That's being selfish. And then fast forward when you're into that world of like strippers and drugs. Like, I've done drugs. I've been with strippers. You know what I mean? Like, I don't, and that's why I don't throw rocks, because I live in a glass house. I can see all aspects of it, but eventually you get to a point where it's like, okay, well, what am I really chasing? Why am I still chasing those things? What is inside me that I'm not content with? Because even sex, you could have the best sex in the world, bro, and you could wake up the next day and still be unhappy.
No, it's true.
It's not the end all be all, as we may think it could be.
Yeah, it's not the end all be all. I think a lot of the young bucks out there, it's usually the young bucks who can't fuck, though, that will be hating on some of the shit you're saying as far as that goes, But it's true. Like, it does get a little bit overrated, right?
But I mean, even with that, you could be dating the fine dude. Jeffrey Epstein was dating a fucking model. Weinstein was dating a model. You know what I mean? P. Diddy was with Carissa. What's her name? The singer. I mean, bro, we could go down the line of fucking people, bro. Of this, like, your local homie who cheated on somebody. Like, bro, you had a bad bitch. You were cheating.
Yeah, and they don't really care about them after a while because they got something else that they got to work out.
And so, like, and that goes back to, if you want to be single, then be single. Do whatever the fuck you want.
Nah, I hear you.
Do whatever the fuck you want.
Fair enough. So, rest in peace to Conor, or free Conor.
Well, he's in jail, but
nah, but free him as. Fuck it.
I more hope because he has a family, bro. He has kids. You know what I mean? Like, this is something that in that household, bro. She's fuming, bro. He's having to deal with that in person right now. You know what I mean? And you still got to raise kids together. That creates bad energy in that household. For his past decisions and mistakes.
It does.
And they could have just been, you know what? We're not together. I'm gonna help you raise the kids, though. I'm gonna support you, and I'm gonna do whatever the fuck I want.
I guess so, but so you're kind of faulting him for like keep stringing her along instead of just like letting her be.
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure he's making promises. Oh, never happen again. You know what I mean? Oh, I was fucked up that day. There's bigger problems that's going on with them that he's not answering.
Mm-hmm.
And that's why I hope for John Jones. I hope that he really has found peace. That we don't hear more of these stories with him. Because what did I say even on the last time? That was my one thing about John Jones is like, bro, you could have been so much more, though. Because you had all these outside activities. He seems, in his last press conference, he seems more at peace.
He does.
He's more content. And I hope he still rides that because it's easy to sway off, bro.
Yeah.
I was thinking about even last year, bro. He was drunk fucking in Las Vegas. So it's not like it's been like 5 years where he's been super, you know what I mean? I was thinking about Ryan Garcia yesterday, too, when I saw him at Ariel. I was like, all right, but like 2 months ago, you were in San Diego hella lit because I saw that video of you fucking downtown. Like, you go.
These guys are fighters, though, so I guess that's part of their crazy lifestyle.
I thought about that too. I was like, these guys, it's not like they're just, civil citizens.
No.
They're fucking, they're violent.
They are.
They're in a violent sport that comes with the territory. They're not the most sane person you're gonna meet.
No, 100%. It's a crazy case. Now, I guess the last question I'll have for you on this one, and then I think we'll just do one more topic and we'll head out. The last question I have for you is because you're saying that Dee is livid, but she's out here defending Conor, saying I'll even warn my sons about women like you.
But she has to, bro. You have to put on that face, though. You know what I mean? Like, she knows people are like, oh, your man cheated on you. Looking
to her to they're looking.
Well, you're embarrassed. Like, come on, that's embarrassing, dude. Like you just said, if you just find out about your girl and you guys are walking out in public, like, look what you just made me fucking have to go walk through and shit, bro. She has to say. I mean, she doesn't have to, but evidently she did, right?
Well, let me give you
put some face.
But if you're like a drug cartel type wife. Like, those women, they're so loyal, they don't give a fuck if you cheat on them or not. They're going to stand by you. They'll kill for you. Do you think Dee... I feel like Dee is that level of loyalty to McGregor to some degree. Like, because you're saying she's jealous, and I'm like, dude, she might be some mob wife type shit. Like, I don't know if she's just... I think she might kill that woman for McGregor. She don't give a fuck. Guilty or innocent.
I would say this. The backboard is bending. Conor keeps pressing that. She's gonna snap and say, it's over. I'm taking the kids. I'm taking half your money.
Fair enough.
Mark my words. Clip that.
Fair enough.
Clip that.
Watch. No, fair enough.
To a year. Bro, you hear what happened? Oh, she's gone.
As long as you give her credit for her fucking huge bend in her backboard. Because she'd be bending over backwards for him. That's why I'm like, you're like a mob wife type, like, loyal. Unheralded, honestly. But hey, I'm not gonna wrap it up by putting a bow tie on it. I just, we'll see what happens. The
story's not over.
The story is not over, and I guess there's no free McGregor, right? Because, we will never know, and I don't want to look like an asshole saying free McGregor. It turns out he's got all this other shit happening to him. Because, like I said, you got Luke Rockhold fucking at least like 5 girls a month, 10 girls a month. Nothing happens to him, and you got Leonardo DiCaprio. Is he
married or what?
He's not. He's single.
So, I mean, who cares?
But married or not, they accuse Conor of rape.
Okay, but maybe he did rape her.
That's what I'm trying to say a little bit. Is like, I think people should be a little bit more careful in like expressing opinion because you got Luke Rockhold fucking all the time. Nobody accuses him of rape. You got Conor fucking like barely ever, and he's getting accused of rape.
But maybe he did rape.
That's what I'm saying. Maybe that's what I'm trying to say. Maybe he did. If you think about it, if you fuck two,
I see what you're saying. Okay, I'm picking up what you're putting down.
Yeah, you fuck 2 chicks, you get accused, and meanwhile you got Luke Rockhold on his 100th chick this month, and he hasn't been accused. I think that's fucking fishy.
I see what you're saying.
Yeah.
I see what you're saying now.
Okay, fair enough.
Yeah.
So Nick Diaz.
Luke's smashing like that, huh?
Dude, Luke is smashing,
I
bro.
didn't go kick it with that.
Hey, Luke got with a baddie from my high school too.
That's crazy.
A baddie. I'll give Luke his props. He got with the chick that like basically everybody wanted at my school. Yeah, so shout out to Luke. You dirty bastard though. When I found out about that, I was like, fuck you, Luke. And then when Luke won his title, she posted a fucking selfie of them two together in like a restaurant. I'm like, dude, I always heard the fucking rumor, but you posted that fucking selfie in the restaurant, it had to have happened.
How does she look now? Does she still look bad, or she kind of look washed up?
I don't follow her, but she's a baddie. She'll probably always be a baddie. But hey, I know a couple baddies who have kind of got washed up, so we'll never know.
It happens.
Yeah. I think the last one I got for you, Nick Diaz, right? Mm-hmm. I got a little update for you.
Okay.
Apparently, Nick Diaz is smoking. I'm going to tease this in. What are the drugs aside from marijuana, right, that you can smoke? Hard drugs.
There's a ton. Meth, coke.
But coke, if you smoke coke, it would basically be crack, right?
It's crack, yeah.
So aside from meth and crack, I guess there's heroin.
Heroin, you can smoke heroin. You can smoke fentanyl. You can smoke all of them, pretty much.
Fent, yeah, you can't smoke fent.
Yeah, you pretty much smoke all of them.
Okay, I was thinking mostly like meth and crack, but you're right, heroin is there. Yeah. Now, Joe Riggs on Sean O'Malley's coach's podcast, it got resurfaced like 4 or 5 months ago before all this stuff came out. He said he saw Nick with his own 2 eyes strung out on some drug that they bleeped out, but they said he was smoking it. So it could be any of the 4 things that he's been addicted to lately, and it's not weed because they wouldn't bleep out weed.
Right.
So it's a sad thing, before all this stuff came out, his girlfriend accusing him of being on drugs, him looking kind of like shroomed out or like really skinny, doing some weird shit in that video. Then the old video from 4 months ago resurfaces saying he had just kicked basically a drug addiction. Mm-hmm. So I think it's safe to say Nick is addicted to drugs, and we brought that up, right? I touched on it. I said he's doing party favors. I don't know if he's addicted, but he's definitely doing it with the homies. That does mean he's kicking it 5 days a week. So make of that what you will. And now I'm coming full circle and saying it seems like he was fighting an addiction.
Well, is fighting addiction, yeah.
I mean, it seems like my guess is that he was addicted because Joe Riggs said he got clean and started training for Vicente, but he saw him when he was addicted. So my assumption is he's like basically struggling getting off.
Right.
Yeah, like he's like like withdrawals, right? They get skinny. He's probably like cold sweats, maybe going back to it. I think he's in that fucking realm right now.
Yeah, that's sad.
Very sad. So just like an update, I guess there's not much to be said, but it seems like that old video would confirm that it's nothing like mild with Nick. It's actually pretty serious. And he said he has no money either. He said he's broke and has nothing to his name.
Yeah, it's just that, that's what I was going to bring up to you. Fucking Vice is dropping, you know how they did with like the dark side of, like their dark side episodes?
Yeah.
Series? They're going to do the dark side MMA.
Oh shit, okay.
Drops January, I think 18th.
January 18th, the dark side of MMA.
Yeah, because you know how they do the dark side of like wrestling?
Yeah.
Dude, those were crazy, right?
Yeah.
I guess they just wrapped up all their things, edited everything. They're ready to roll out their whole series beginning of next year.
Dana White's promo. No, I will for sure watch that. Dana,
like CTE shit, drug shit, fucking like all this shit you saw wrestling, but on the MMA side. Because now they have enough shit that you could talk about. They have GSP on there. Yeah.
Dana's probably fucking over, like, looking through the video script right now, like, looking for copyright claims. He's trying to copyright them, delay that any way possible.
He has to. I want to see if the dark side of combat sports.
Okay, dark side of combat sports. I got a question for you. Because I think this one totally got swept under the rug, but you have planted this seed, call it blame, call it credit, whatever you want. But you planted the seed in my mind about CTE, and I've been pushing the topic. I've been pressing it, bringing up the testimonies nonstop, even in my personal interviews, right? Now let me ask you something. Because again, you originated this thought in my mind.
Okay.
Dana White got asked about Nick Diaz's incident, right? Why the fight got canceled. Dana completely no-sold it, said he hadn't even heard of it, and they asked him, what do you make of that video? He said, well, I've seen a lot of videos of Nick. Basically refused to acknowledge it, and even went as far as to say he didn't even know the fight got canceled. Is he worried, and does he know more than what he's leading on?
I hate when he does shit like that, bro.
Because to me, that was some bullshit.
Dude, come on, of course.
But he's quaking in his boots because Nick has CTE bullshit, and he doesn't want to acknowledge it. That's my theory. You tell me your theory.
No, I agree with you. Like, he does this a lot. Well, he knows answers to these questions, and he just wants to, he likes to play dumb. Like,
I didn't know Nick fight got canceled. That happened?
Yeah, exactly. He likes to play, I didn't know that. That's news to me.
Yeah, that happened?
You're the head of UFC. Come on, bro. Like, you know exactly what the fuck's going on, dude. Yeah, I think, the UFC as a whole are probably looking at how the NFL handled it and putting together some very strategic plans to be like, hey, because this could be like a 5-10 year plan, right? Because they're going to start getting more lawsuits coming, they're going to be related to this type of, God forbid, something like who Junior Seau was?
Yeah.
God forbid, years
a suicide, right?
Yeah, a fighter,
Chris Benoit. That was even worse.
Right. So I mean, you just need a couple of those stories to start coming out. Start seeing more fighters, now in their 50s, because now you're seeing some of these fighters in their 50s, and you're like, oh damn, did you see him? Like, he don't look right. Mm-hmm. Something's not right there. It's a violent sport.
It changes the way I even look at the guys who are fighting today, because I look at them right now and they're in the primes of their life, and I'm like, then you look at their previous fighters, and I'm like, I hope to God you aren't them one day,
It's such a double-edged sword, because I know exactly what you're saying. It's like you don't want to see these guys 20 years from now who are your heroes, and are like, can't even talk or something. I mean, look at Muhammad Ali, the greatest of all time. Think about that, Muhammad Ali. Like, at the end of his life, he wasn't even. That's not what you could say living.
No. And he was like 60.
Right, and so like it's one of those things where it is a double-edged sword, because we want to see these guys in the ring as gladiators. It's the ultimate blood sport that we have left. It gives a lot of them opportunities to change their lives for their kids and their families. You know what I mean? It's a lottery ticket almost, and so yeah, it really is. It's a double-edged sword.
It's a double-edged sword, because you enjoy the fuck out of their performances, but then at the same time, what you're rooting them on for is going to shorten years off their life.
Which it could, for our entertainment.
We're
putting them in there for our entertainment. But, it's human nature. They've been doing this since the beginning of time, we can go back from gladiators, with swords and shit.
Yeah.
So I mean, it would be there regardless.
And I think a lot of the fighters aren't the ones complaining, it's us. I think a lot of these guys would take it, even the ones who are complaining now, right?
Yeah.
60 years removed, I think that they would repeat their mistake.
I think, of course, yeah. And
And
you're a competitor, right?
Yeah.
Most men, not all, but most, you're like, you size people up. Like, oh man, I'll fuck this dude up, bro. Like, just as a general person walking
just
around.
As soon as you walk out of your fucking door, that happens.
Yeah. Just a general.
The first dude you see.
Look at right. But these guys are trained athletes. You know what I mean? Like, this isn't someone you would want to fuck with on everyday life, right?
Absolutely not.
As competitors, you meet these two guys. I was listening to Brian Battle's interview today on Ariel, and he said something really telling about Randy Brown. I'm big on the welterweight division, right?
Yeah, of course.
And he said, he's all like, he goes, yeah, but he goes, Randy Brown, he's like, Randy Brown's Randy Brown. Like, he hasn't evolved or changed or grown. You know what I mean? He was who he is 5-10 fights ago. He goes, I'm growing. I'm becoming better. That's the competitiveness in him, right?
Mm-hmm.
He wants to grow. He wants to get better. Like, I was the other thing too. Next time you have a fighter, I would love to know, like, when they go into a camp and they learn something new, like, ooh, like you got a new trick, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like, how do you implement that into the game plan? Because you want to use it,
Yeah.
But you at the same time you want to win the fight. So sometimes maybe you could have too many tools in the belt where you're like, oh shit, which one do I use? But the smart ones know how to use which one. I'm kind of
No, I got you. Second topic, but I got you.
Yeah, going off topic, but I think it's the competitiveness that you draw out, and as we as fans get entertained because we want to see the highest level of competition go at each other.
We're both encouraging it. You got Brian Battle encouraging himself, right? Like you're saying, Brian's got all these skills that he wants to test. He wants to put them to the test, which means you're putting your chin on the line, your brain health on the line. But you want to do that to test these skills, right? And then you got us who are like, hey, Brian Battle, he's about it. You better wait and see what he could show in the next one. So you got us hyping him up, he's hyping himself up, and like I said, I think that if they were to go back, they would run it back the same way. Like I keep saying, just give them the money. Just give them a lot of money.
And I think if we were to talk big picture, that's
all they're complaining about.
And I think it's the protection afterwards, right?
Right.
Like you need to have some type of what word do I want to use? Like health or something. You know what I mean? Like in play there.
Right.
Like I don't even know what word I want to use.
Just some types of things to be able to just facilitate a better life. Let's put it like that.
Yeah, like
the UFC PI for UFC fighters, how it facilitates their training. There should be a UFC PI for past fighters that facilitates their health and wellness. That's a great idea. I feel like I just created. Okay, I said last topic, but this is the West Coast platform, right? So let me just ask you two quick things about two new fights. Okay. Prochazka versus Jamahal, because it's West Coast, right? So Prochazka, Jamahal,
311.
Los Angeles, we're getting those two, right? We're also getting Kevin Holland, who's from California, so he's coming back home. Welcome home, Kev. You know I fuck with you, Kev. He's fighting Rainer.
What were you saying about him last time?
What did I say?
I thought you were like disappointed in him.
I might have been disappointed, but I fuck with Kev.
Okay.
He's fighting Rainer de Ritter.
Yeah.
So, two decent fights. I guess I'm just announcing them, but yeah, give me your thought.
No, bro, Rainer did not impress me at all.
He didn't. So you think Kev's got him?
Yeah, dude, he's too clunky. He's too like he looks like a you ever see those like big clunky robots and then you see the like real sleek robot?
Yeah, I do.
Kevin Holland's a sleek robot.
Is he?
Kevin Holland lose to? He got injured and him and Joaquin kind of smashed.
Yeah, it was Roman Dolidze, right?
I think that's what it was.
Yeah.
So like, nah, bro, he's too fast. Now if
is Kevin knocking him out, or is it the first one to submit the other? Because I could see a submission match, but I could also see Kevin knocking him the fuck out because he's kind of clunky.
Yeah, I could see that too. I could see the knockout.
Because he can't find his way on his feet, right? And I feel like Kevin's just gonna like be walking his way around him.
And Kevin's real flashy, right?
Flashy, long.
Yeah, flashy.
Hit you from far out.
And he'll hit you in the body too. Like I can see him trying to pick him apart and being real fancy and real like you know what I mean. Like he's just gonna be too fast, too athletic. Maybe that's the word I'm looking for. Too athletic.
Can he submit Kev if they hit the ground?
Can RDD submit?
Yeah.
Kev?
Does that worry you?
But Kevin's good on the ground.
He is.
Right?
He is. No, he's a black belt, but he chokes. Yeah. You know, Kevin sometimes chokes. That's his issue. Like, you know, Roman Dolidze, it wasn't a severe injury. He just choked.
I just think he's too athletic.
So you don't think, because I'll leave it up to you. You don't think Rainer can choke him out? You think it'll be pretty even if they go to the ground? Maybe even Kevin could submit him. I think Kevin could get a Darce there.
I think Kevin could submit him too.
Yeah.
I really do. I think he's too, I think he's going to be faster. And I think that speed kills. You know, speed, like, if I were to give anybody sometimes power can kill speed, right?
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, the RDD did not impress me that last fight, dude. He did like in the third round. He was like, he's breathing heavy. You know what I mean? Like he did get the win. Don't get me wrong, but it just like.
I think if RDD wins, it's kind of one of those flukes. Like Kevin's gonna have to do something that just like completely fucks it up for himself.
Yeah, he's gonna have to shoot himself in the foot.
Yeah, this is Kevin's fight to lose. How about that?
Kevin's fight. I agree with that.
Okay, Jamahal Hill, Jiri Prochazka, prediction, thoughts, anything? I'll say this. I've been looking forward to this fight for a long time, and to me, I'm calling this one like a 50-50.
You know, I think that. Yeah, I can see that too.
Two different styles.
Yeah, Yuri's so like unorthodox, right?
Yeah, and Jamal's real like, you know, bop bop, like right there, just kind of like walking you down. Yuri's over here like all kinds of flashy shit.
Yeah. Yuri's funny, bro. He's such a character. I'm gonna go with the Jamal though.
You're gonna go with Jamal?
Yeah, I think I like him. I think sometimes he like. Yeah, I like him.
I think he's more technical than Jiri. I'll put that out there for sure.
He's definitely not he's more technical.
Yeah, definitely. Who has a better knockout chance? You think?
I think Jamal still does.
I kind of see a knockout, Jamal knocking Jiri out.
Yeah, is that supposed to be the co-main?
I'm hoping it's the main. Oh, but it's got to be a title fight, right?
Yeah, but isn't Islam the main?
Yeah, I think Islam is the main. So yeah, probably co-main.
Armin, yeah. I mean, that's a good card.
That's a good card. I wish we didn't really have Islam, if I'm being dead honest.
Why?
He's just like he's not like American culture out here in like Cali.
Oh, so you rather wish that they did like something like that in Abu Dhabi, and then we got like more of an American fight?
Yeah.
Gotcha. Well,
something like
sense.
that.
But it's a championship fight, and it's two like the baddest. You mean like one of the baddest, fighters of all time? Great streak, fighting. You know the two. You know what I mean? Like this is their second time
rematch.
Armin, yeah. Armin's trying to
arguably gave him Islam his hardest fight.
Right. So like that's interesting. Like
it's a good fight.
Yeah. Oh yeah, it's a great fight. Islam, bro. Like it's Islam.
Right.
You know what I mean? But I get what you're saying. Like you know. But think about this. I think there's only Pantoja, nope. Brazilian. Marab, nope. Where is he from? Georgia. Ilya, Spain. Islam, Russia. Bilal, he's
America.
From, America.
185.
DDP.
Africa.
Light.
Brazil.
Heavy, and then John Jones. Kind
America.
So it's just John Jones and Bilal holding down.
Bro, America's been like we'll have like before it was both Sean's, right? We had like O'Malley and Strickland, but there's always like one falls out, then one comes in, one falls out. But America's been hanging on by a thread for like a hot minute.
And that's why I've always loved the UFC is what they have done, and I felt like they have built their brand so much bigger than the NFL is that this shit's literally worldwide.
Yeah, they call NFL and NBA World Championship, but the UFC is the true championship of the world.
Yeah, and they curated a bunch of fighters from so many different countries. Like, I've always been amazed with the UFC of how you can step into the ring and fight a man and you guys don't even speak the same language.
Yeah.
It's different when I can talk shit like, dude, fuck you, blah, 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 blah. With the dude just other than, I don't know what he just said.
Yeah, no facts.
I have zero understanding. But we're gonna fight. But we're gonna fucking fight. That's universal.
That's universal. That's only one language.
That's only one language. That's what's crazy. That's why I love the UFC because of that shit.
Yeah.
And I will say this, I'm interested to see what Asakura like. You know what amazed when we talk next week? Like, damn, bro, he just rolled past everybody in the rankings.
Yeah, he did.
Like, I was thinking, like, at least give him one fight before you get to that point.
No, that was.
They just a choop.
And I was gonna say this one too before we wrap up is that in boxing, if you notice, it is more of an American sport. Like they don't give the internationals the same opportunities as the UFC.
And Mexico.
But if you notice, like how many Russians, there's only a few. So I think in boxing, America controls it, and they choose to put on the select few international stars. UFC, it's like open floodgates. Like any international can come in and fight here. I think boxing, they're like, you got to have a fan base from your country before we put you on in America.
Yeah.
So even so, just to add to it, UFC is even more of the true world championship than boxing, because I noticed boxing is a lot about who you put on. It's not the free market where like the best boxer from Dagestan can just walk his way into a Terrence Crawford fight. But the best MMA fighter from Dagestan can easily walk his way into a fucking world championship fight in the UFC.
In the camps now that they have, I mean, if you were to think about it, the way they've curated this, bro, like they probably have 100 really good Brazilian fighters right now, bro.
Yeah.
That are just like trying to scratch the surface just to have the discussion about.
Like the MMA nerds just popped out of nowhere. They've been cooking, right? Before that, it was like Jose Aldo's team.
You know, you got Africa now kind of cooking.
Two gyms, right? Or no, at least you got Dreykus's gym, and I'm sure there's more.
You got the UK's fucking cooking.
Yeah.
Canada was cooking. GSP. Canada been cooking, right? Russia cooking. The Middle East starting to cook now. Japan, Asia. I mean, bro, that's Australia. It's crazy.
And those places, the countries where there's a world champion from, like Robert Whittaker, right? How he won the title in Australia. That is like a huge boomerang effect. Like it all just like multiplies.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, bro. But then if you were to look at all the guys that are waiting to kind of get to that point, bro, every country probably has 100 really, let's just, 50.
Yeah.
50 really good fighters, maybe 50 that they're trying to get to that level. I mean, and Alex Pereira just like gets on the motherfucking planet like, what's up, Chama?
I'm here to take over.
Say Chama, bro. That's crazy.
He's the king.
We had all these fighters.
Anybody saying that Tom Aspinall, right, is the fucking bigger star over Alex, please.
Not yet.
You saw that from last week.
Not yet.
Yeah.
Not yet.
Okay.
He can get there. He
can get there, but let's be real about who the big star is.
Yeah.
Last one, I have a feeling your answer is going to be fun on this one. Quick, as quick as you want it, because I think it will be quick. 2024 PFL World Championships coming up this Friday. Okay. 2 questions. Do you know anyone fighting on that card? And number 2, are you watching it?
I'll watch the main. Who's the main?
Dude, the only person I know fighting on that card is Impa Kasanganay.
I don't even know who that is. It's funny because you and I met at the Bellator thing, and I was like, but I'm here, wanting to learn.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
But I think that's actually what's good about our podcast is that like you have me who's like just like been a complete diehard for years, and then you have like this
you know what? You're not a diehard because I watch all the undercards.
Fair. Whatever.
I'm a UFC diehard.
Right, but I feel like you came back into it, right? Like you don't even know Ali Abdelaziz. But
I know because like I started putting pieces together.
Yeah, but like I think it's good that because your perspective sometimes like frees up something that I never would have thought of, and I feel like my perspective sometimes like opens up another avenue that you probably didn't consider. Yeah.
Hey, I definitely, and it's just because too, like even when I asked you about the Kendrick shit, bro, you're so separated from it. They're like, not really, bro. Like for me, it's crazy the amount of shit I've seen. It's like us talking John Jones and Tom Aspinall and Alex Pereira. That's what's going right now on with Kendrick, Drake, and all this other shit. Like it's that area in the industry of the topics and the conspiracy theories and bro, it's just like this.
I heard there's some Drake thing going on with Kendrick right now that I don't even know about, but I heard about it.
It's nonstop.
Yeah.
That's what I mean. You're so
out of the loop.
Well, yeah, you're not connected to it, so you're like, I guess I don't really know. Where I'm more connected, bro. I see it every day.
Yeah.
Like it's literally nonstop.
And we had opposite perspectives, right? I was talking. You were like from that diehard. He's a lyricist, and I'm like, yeah, but I think that's not what people are trying to hear right now.
Bro, they have dissected not just the opening minute of the first track on the song to this, to Lil Wayne, to the Super Bowl, to the Buick, fucking the GNX that he has as the cover, to fucking Menace to Society, to fucking bro, they're like 100 things different going on. I'm like, bro, just the first minute of the song.
Dude, this is what Kendrick's created, though. Hey,
but that's brilliant. It's fucking brilliant.
No, it's brilliant. Like I said before, there's people counting how many times he says a word in a song. But should he have put Not Like Us on the album and our fans sick of it? Or do you want to keep hearing that shit? The remix.
No, so they're saying that he's supposed to. Now this just dropped today.
Yeah.
They're saying it's a deluxe album and that he's gonna be releasing the deluxe version in 2025. This was just the teaser, and Not Like Us is gonna be on the deluxe.
Okay, with the remix, right? He's gonna have a feature on there or something like that.
That's just brilliant marketing, though. You know what I mean? Like, to me.
Because now everyone's waiting on that.
Yeah, and bro, and then they just dropped the Squabble Up a video. Now they got everybody dissecting every little thing on the Squabble Up video. A 2.5-minute video.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, did you see this? People were arguing because they got left out as a dancer. Even dancers are arguing with each other. Oh, you stole my move and you put it on Kendrick's fucking music video. Like, what are we talking about?
Oh, something completely unrelated. They're like, dude, I saw my dance move that I created in Kendrick's video.
Bro. Yeah.
Well, because he's tapping in with the young new culture, so that's bound to happen too.
Bro, it's so. I'm over here like, wow.
Hey, okay, because right, you're Mexican or what's your ethnicity?
Yeah, I'm Mexican.
Okay, Lefty Gunplay. He had like a four lines on there, not even like not even like bars or whatever you want to call it.
Not even, you know
what do you think about Lefty?
No, I mean, I want to see him succeed, right? I want to see him stay out of prison. I want to see him start doing the right things in his life.
He can rap, can't he? Like, what's the deal?
Yeah, he's a rapper. You know what I mean? I mean, not like all his cadence and his flows. Like Drake was probably my favorite rapper.
Okay.
Nipsey too, but I think what happened, like, now I'm gonna say between us, but we're recording it.
Yeah.
I think he probably dropped the verse and they cut everything out and they just kept that scary, dangerous. I forgot what the other ones were. It's a good little clip because that little clip's going viral.
No, it's actually kind of viral.
Yeah, and it was, you know what's funny is I bet you he was super upset though when they found out that they dropped the verse, and they're like, because that's a hard thing to be like, fuck, bro, you dropped my verse and shit. That's fuck. You know what I mean? Like he probably was looking forward to that. But
like, I'm never doing a song with Kendrick again.
Yeah, but at least you know that he got some play out of it. It keeps it because I felt like he was kind of dying down a little bit, but now this is gonna kind of give him another little boost. So we'll see. You know, the hip hop game, bro, is very much like the fighting game. It's hard to stay on top. It's hard. You can create a one-hit wonder, but to do it again, it's the hardest thing to do, bro. That's why you don't see. You know, you'll see a banger and then you won't see that artist again.
Yeah.
You know, that's why Kendrick's is one of the GOATs, bro, because he's been able to keep reinventing himself and keep saying, and he's in a position. That's what I was going to show you the parallels. John Jones is like Kendrick almost. Alex Pieta is like
Drake,
like Lil Wayne. Drake. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah. No, Tom Aspinall, and if we were to go like a younger rapper, I don't want to. Lefty Gunplay. He's not.
Is Tom Aspinall like a young boy?
Okay, and be a young boy.
Yeah, because everybody like young boy better. Why be better?
Yeah,
they're like Aspinall's better.
So really, it's Kendrick's not gonna lower himself down to like young boy's pretty hot though. Don't get me wrong, but he's so like
he is hot.
Yeah, but look here's the thing with Kendrick and Drake, they're on the back nine. If they're gonna have the last battle of the battles, this is it.
It's with each other.
Yeah, because we don't want to see them rolling into their 40s doing the same shit. We'd all be over it. Like, bro, you're 40. Come on, dog.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like I'm about to be 40, so I understand that feeling. Like this is it. This is the last run.
Yeah, facts.
So like that's how I look at them. Like rap and fighting, this is a young man's. And that's why Alex and John, they need to squeeze that last bit of juice, because if you and I are discussing them and they haven't fought by the time they're 40, we're like, man, well, they should have done that shit when they were 37. Like,
yeah.
Even then, they're kind of on their back.
Too many regrets if it doesn't happen, right?
That's how I feel with Drake and Kendrick right now. Like, this is it. This is the last bit of juice you could squeeze out of this hip hop game, bro. Because we can't be talking about this shit in their 40. Even when Eminem dropped his album, I'm like, bro, come on, dog. You didn't need to do that. You already were a GOAT.
Because then there's a point of overdoing it, right? That once you overdo it that one time, it loses a lot. So you're saying this deluxe album is the last little squeegee.
Yeah. And it's good. I mean, he got a lot of juice out of it.
No, I think people want to see the remix for sure.
Yeah, and there's a lot for the West Coast. I mean, man, I would say I would fuck with 8 out of those 12 tracks somewhere.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay, West Coast Radio.
Last thing I'll say is I fuck with Lazy Boy over Lefty.
Lazy Boy?
I don't think he's from. I think he is from California, but he's not from SoCal.
Why can't I think Lazy Boy rapper?
Yeah, Lazy Boy, Latino rapper.
That's crazy. I thought I knew everybody.
You don't know Lazy Boy? Hold up. I would even play a song, but we can't get copyrighted. You need to look up Out the Mud right now.
Out the Mud.
Yeah, Out the Mud. This is Lazy Boy.
Okay, I see it now.
You never heard of Lazy Boy?
Yeah, actually, I've heard of him, but I don't like. But he's only been around for like what, 2 or 3 years, right?
He popped out with like Lefty Gunplay.
Yeah.
But I think they're rivals. They're like enemies. Like what, the Serenos and then like the whatever.
So yeah, I think isn't Lazy Boy from Northern California? Then?
Yeah, he's from NorCal.
Okay, yeah, okay. Now, yeah, I know.
And he wears like orange or something like that, and that's like a
I've heard of
beef.
him.
Yeah.
Yeah, I have heard of him. But see, I'm more.
Out the Mud. Out the Mud.
You know
Listen
what-
to
you know
that song. Out the Mud.
Well, you know
All
what's
right.
interesting is like even like the rap world. A lot of times I want to support my Chicano rappers, but a lot of times, bro, like it's like it's too kiddie. It's like it's a kindergarten rap almost. And so that's why like I want to support you so bad, but it's like, man, like our flows aren't always there. Now there are a few of them that are really there that I, like you know who Mexican OT is?
Yeah.
That dude got bars.
He got good bars.
Yeah, that he could flow. You know what I mean? And so like but no, this is an interesting conversation though.
Let me know what you think. Send me a text when you listen to it.
I've heard that song before.
Out the Mud goes hard, right? That's not childish.
Because that's like no, it's not.
No.
That's not like a couple years old too, I think, right?
Yeah, that's one of my favorites though. I always listen to that one.
Like, do you know who Devour is in LA? I can talk music.
No.